Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja, and right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hi, everybody. I hope that you all are doing good. I had a thing I was going to say, and then I completely forgot what it was. The moment the music comes on, that music is so,
it's
so
fun.
potty,
It is fun.
so upbeat and lively.
Which is funny because it never quite matches the conversation that we're having, but whatever.
I know we're gonna talk deep, dark, terrible things like I don't know. Nothing's happened. Like nothing's I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, listeners, mate, you're here.
Welcome,
Mr.
look at that,
for
being all
in
first
here,
and
like
everything.
early on." Oh, and I don't know if we mentioned this, but a shout out to our 46th follow to Similar Manipula.
You know what? It's funny because I actually see that one. Because I uninstalled and reinstalled Streamlabs, and I can finally see that.
And it works now.
And no, although...
Is it tweeting?
I don't know. Did it?
I'll have to look.
Excuse us as
I
we
don't think it did, 'cause
unprofessionally...
I didn't get an announcement.
Well, then some things are still broken.
All right. Anyway, so you see it then, huh?
I see this latest person from 7 days ago, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody in between that person and the last person from 4 months ago. So something...
Yeah, there's a bunch.
So
There's still
something,
a bunch of people.
something's probably broken. But
That's all good.
whatever. How are you, man? What's going on?
Nothing wrong with that. Not too much. I am sleepy.
Okay.
I just I just haven't. I don't know. I haven't been getting good night's sleep lately. Just like the last 2 days. Hopefully tonight I'm gonna knock out the moment I lay my head on the pillow, which is usually the case. That's like my favorite thing about sleep. It's just like, well, done.
Well, that's funny you mention that because for this week's sponsor,
Is it sleep mattress or is it the number bed? Which one is it?
Fuck the sleep number bed. No. Go on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, and thank you, listeners, mate, for reading my story. I guess I'll
What story, Francis?
Hey. Yeah, look, if you go to books2read.com/Tales of Monstrosity, you can check out the brand new anthology from Cabot Crossing, where I wrote a story in there called The Greatest of All Time. And it's been reviewed. A couple people reviewed it. One of the reviews was very nice about my story, calling it hilarious, and I want to thank them for that. I don't know if it's hilarious, but I'm glad somebody thought it was. So thanks for that.
Any feedback is good feedback.
It's all positive. I mean, the guy read this person also reviewed the previous anthology, Dragons of a Different Tale, and was like, and even like referenced it in the review of this book, where he's like, "Oh yeah, Francis' other heartwarming tale, Friend Called Home was the." I'm like, this guy's amazing. Oh, this guy's the nicest guy ever. Like, this is an amazing review. So I'm waiting for the hate. But so far so good. People are more or less liking what we're slinging.
That's good.
So that's
good.
I think the more important, and I think the biggest thing is you are now blinding people. I think that's the most fun thing, that you are blinding people with your car. I think that's hilarious.
Listeners, mate, the My Pillow guy, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't want his pillows on my channel.
Well, look,
he's
a controversial guy there, listeners, mate, but we appreciate the suggestion. But that dude's a little Hi, Ginger. welcome.
You know who I would like to get sponsored by though is the guys that did my well, they didn't do my lighting. They are the retail store in which I got their lights from. The company called Last Fit. This with the new car, I changed the headlights, the fog lights, and all the tail light, action with LEDs, and my reverse lights can illuminate, like if you need to change your tire, right? If I put my reverse lights on and use them as spotlights for you.
Yeah, if you need to change your tire 2 counties over.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
If the grocery store behind my living quarters happens to need any flashlights, I can provide them. They just have to open the side door, and I could just pull up next to it, and put the car in reverse, and light the whole store. Yeah, these things, I got the hiccups. These things are bright. I didn't realize how bright they were until after they were in the car, and I did all the work to get them in my car. So once they're in there, I'm not taking them out. So I'm glad that I don't have to be behind me.
Right.
It was brought up that what if there are laws about how bright your lights can be? You know what? I don't know if there is one in Colorado, but I might find out. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I've already looked at little tint film for the rear taillights just to kind of diffuse some of that light without, defeating the fact that I paid money for LED lights. Yes, very unprofessional.
You having your notifications on during a live recording.
I know. Well, it's just to show that I get love at all times. Speaking of love, listeners mate says he loves his My Pillow. I have 2 of them, and even bought my dog a My Pillow bed. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, I'm the type of guy
yeah.
that goes to the store and pulls the pillows off the rack and lays on the floor, lays on the pillow, and just that one feels good, and just take it.
I tried for a sec because some places do pillows because pillows used to have feathers before they had cotton in them, and some places still make pillows with feathers in them.
Mm-hmm.
That is awful. I had a pillow with feathers in them, and all it does is just put feathers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just poof, goes all over the place.
It doesn't matter.
If you have feathers on your pillow.
It doesn't matter what the pillow material holding the feathers inside of a case are made of. It's going to poke through because you put feathers with the stems and shit inside of a pillowcase.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's the craziest thing. So don't do that is my response to that. But anyway, so yeah, I had to bring that up only because Josh showed pictures. I think it's on your Instagram too.
It is.
I think, right?
It is 303 Ninja.
Yeah. So I saw the pictures of the car, and I had to bring it up because it was to me like I had a little chuckle because I'm like, dude. So I think you had tweeted about it, and then somebody wrote, "Oh, you're that guy."
Like, it was our buddy Guapo.
Josh kind of is that guy.
It is our buddy Guapo.
Yeah, I hear bamboo is good. I hear bamboo is actually really good ginger. So Ginger's saying that bamboo pillows are the best. Always cool and like in the hip way, right? Not even in like the temperature way. They're just like super hip.
They wear leather jackets and shit.
Yeah, they wear leather jackets and they have like a cool, hat with a feather in it.
We break out
I'll
into
have to try bamboo because
they break out into choreographed song and dance.
Yeah. No, I know. I like the Ginger clarified. No, I know you meant temperature wise. I was just being silly. Sorry, Ginger. I was just being silly. But yeah.
Well, speaking of
yeah,
being
no,
being silly, Francis,
yeah.
I don't know if it actually is silly or not. But
Okay, hit me.
Sports Illustrated decided to put the 81-year-old Martha Stewart on the swimsuit cover this year. One, fucking good for Martha. Good for you. Being bold and throwing yourself out there. At the same time, who is that for? I mean, like, let's cut to the chase. I mean, the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated is really just there. I haven't had a swimsuit in forever either. There was that one time, but the Sports Illustrated subscription since I was like a teenager, and I only got the subscription because they had the swimsuit edition. I'm not a sports guy. I don't care.
You had it with your FHM and your
Maxim.
Maxim. There you go. That was the other one I was thinking of. Yeah, your FHM and your Maxim. I remember, speaking of just like a random cover girl, when the Final Fantasy movie came out, the CG one, they had the main character, as like the FHM center model, because she was like, look how real she looks, sort of. Though she's CG, but they like had her as like the fold out for that FHM. I think I have that issue somewhere stored away. Because I thought it was the funniest thing. This is not a real person.
The CG was like
doing this?
Very plasticky looking, if I remember correctly. That CGI movie I don't think it held up well, even though it was brand new. Like, why does this look so old? The CGI looks so bad.
Certain angles and certain things made it look realistic. Like, oh wow, this kind of looks real. And it was cutting edge technology. I can't lie, it was. And it was like a proof of concept for Square Enix to be like, look, we can make realistic looking people. Look at the pores on the old man. You know, but yeah.
Well, we can all stare at the pores of Martha Stewart.
But you're right, Ginger. Yes.
No, women, I'm kidding, but she is. Yes, she's correct.
Yeah, like she looks good. I don't deny that she looks good. But it also is proof that if 50 years ago, 50, not even 100, just 50 years ago, if you were to put an 81-year-old on the cover of anything, they would call you mad because she doesn't look 81. Martha Stewart doesn't look 81.
No, right? She doesn't.
It's probably all that time she spends with Snoop Dogg. You know, keeps her youth.
Hey, man. Weed keeps you young, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what I was going to say before we started hitting record when we brought this up, I believe that if Sports Illustrated had a swimsuit edition in the time that a retired Marilyn Monroe would have been around, I believe that they would have done the same thing, even back then.
Nope.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
I think they would have.
She would have looked 150.
I'm not
Marilyn. Like we age so much better nowadays.
Oh, sure.
You know,
sure.
we just age so great. That again, being 81, like Martha Stewart's 81 looks like 50 years ago's 50, right? Like that's what you looked like at 50. So she, you know, and we know there's airbrushing and Photoshop and whatever. So I'm certain some of these pictures were touched up, which is perfectly fine. Like I feel like most of it's really her, but yeah, I don't, you know, good for her. Like cool, but I mean, as right as Ginger is with the whole like, oh yes, older women can be attractive and beautiful and all of that stuff. Yeah, I don't know who this is for. I don't understand because it's not like she's an up and comer, right?
Well, yeah, and that's. I mean, I thought the swimsuit edition was for, you know, current sports people bearing all and You know, maybe a
Well, not
lingerie
really.
model thrown in there too. You know,
Yeah, the swimsuit edition usually were just models. They had no sport affiliation,
I thought
but
they
they
were
were
sports.
usually no,
No.
no. They're just people. Yeah, but like, yeah, but you know, they were people who maybe you've never heard of or people you've never seen before. We know who she is. We know who Martha is. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I'm curious if she's selling something, like if this is all for like an ad for a new line of kitchenware or something. Like here's some new plates.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's one way to, you know, sell them, holding up
Yeah.
2 plates next to your naked boobs.
She's pretty. Look, she's pretty like modest in the pictures I've seen of her. So it's not like she's showing off her belly or anything. Like she's pretty modest in all this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just poking fun because she
Yeah.
does look incredible for being 80 years old.
Yeah.
It's just it was an interesting choice. I'm not against it. It was just an interesting choice. I found it interesting that the pictures I saw were tastefully done, and you know, I'm glad that she's not in like the nude edition of Sports Illustrated. Not for anything, but just to be funny, you know. But
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting that they went that route, and I mean that's the only thing that's making waves out of that entire magazine. So everything else must be pretty boring. That's in there.
I agree. I can't argue with that. That's true.
Before we get,
but good for Martha.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the end of the day, yes, good for Martha. And any other gilf out there that wants to bear all, go ahead. Before we get too deep, there will not be a show next week because I'm going to go see apparently the 2 hour and 15-minute long animated Spider-Man movie, which getting home at past 10 o'clock when I have to be at work at 5 in the morning might be a mistake, but we're gonna go do it anyway.
Yeah, you have look, Josh. You have access now. You can't just lose access. You hold on to access, man. When you get access, you hold on. You just get a firm ninja grip onto that access and never let it go. Because yeah, you're there, man. So there you go.
Yeah. So maybe there'll be past Spider-Man themed karaoke before the show this time, you know, or hopefully
Same place?
I don't know. I just said yes, and you're going, and I went okay. I should really look and see where it's at. Yeah, but anyway, gonna go see that, which I'm excited because the first one was pretty awesome. Down and Out Peter Parker was probably my favorite. Well, yeah, he's probably my favorite of all of them, just because it was funny, and I think isn't it fucking young hero guy? What's his name? Petrelli, young Petrelli. What's his name?
Oh, Peter Petrelli or Milo Ventimiglia.
Milo Ventimiglia. I'm pretty sure that's who played Down and Out Peter Parker.
Probably. I don't know.
I might be completely wrong, but either way, the first movie was fun as hell, and so I'm here for the second one. I'm gonna go see it. Might be hurting afterward, but you know what? It'll be worth it.
Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get tickets soon because I'm pretty sure I'll be watching it that weekend. So, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know what's it called. Spider-Man Across the Yellow Brick Road. What's it called?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's it.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. Let me look here. Oh, so I did something. So I'm going to protect some kayfabe, but
Sure.
I did community service for the first time in my 45 years of life this week, yesterday, as a matter of fact.
What was the crime? What crime are you?
This is the best part about it, Francis, is I did not have to get convicted of any crime in which to do this community service. With protecting a lot of kayfabe. I did it through work, which we don't like to talk about a lot here.
Sure.
But I work basically in a residential. The place I work that produces marijuana gummies is basically in a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood. So, the powers that be said, let's clean up the community. Let's do our part. And we were like, well, as long as we don't have to work, sure. So that's what we did. And
let's give back.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know what we shouldn't have been probably doing is smoking big fat joints while cleaning up trash. But that's what we did, and it made it a lot of fun.
Sure.
And we covered a lot of ground in 2 hours. And it wasn't too bad. There was this is pretty funny actually. So there is a suspected crack house really close to my workplace. And there's a person that lives, it's a duplex. And there's a person that lives on the other side of this suspected crack house that's always out on the corner picking up trash. Just, debris from the street or trash left by suspected crackheads or whatever. So there's a big group of us that are walking near this particular house. And the guy's out, picking trash up, and he just sees us all, and he's just like, the look on his face made it all worth it, because he was just grinning from ear to ear. He was like, holy shit. There's like 15 people that were just walking up the street. Like,
nice.
You ever seen, like, before they launch aircraft off a aircraft carrier, and they have everybody on the ship basically walk the deck? That's basically what we did. We just took over the whole street and just walked down both sidewalks in the middle of the street and picked up trash.
Oh, that's cool.
The group that I was with had a certain number. That certain number stayed with us the whole time. We came back to the facility with the same number of people. I thought I did a pretty good job. Nobody got hit by a car. Oh. Nobody got shot. Nobody got bit by a dog. So it was fun. It was actually kind of fun. I don't like picking up trash. Don't fucking take that the wrong way. It's not something that I want to do on a fucking daily or weekly basis. But it was cool to do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did that when I was in high school. Yeah, for one of the, the after-school clubs.
Mm.
One of the things they did was community service, where you'd go around like you guys did, probably in a orange vest with a stick with a little needle at the end of it and a bag, and you picked up trash.
I would have preferred orange vests. I wish they had orange vests for everybody, because carrying around a plant-based plastic bag that happened to be green, like, that wasn't enough. I don't think to like.
I think they have to be reflective. I don't think it's just anything. Like, you have to wear it. To be, yeah.
But still, I would have preferred, even a hunting vest at the very least. Like something.
But no. It's. I mean, it doesn't sound fun. But when you're with other people who are kind of like get the idea, like we all understand we're doing a thing because of a thing. Then it becomes fun. It's like, oh, you're with your peers doing something that is like is work, but it's something that you've never experienced before. Usually, you're not usually walking up and down a street picking up trash along the side of the road.
Not usually. No.
So that's cool. There you go.
Cool. It was
very
cool.
Nice of you. Very nice of you.
It was nice to give back, and not that anybody in the neighborhood was like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" They probably could have figured it out with us smoking tree trunks as we walked down the street. But whatever helps you get the job done.
It's your flag. Is the gigantic blunts are your flags.
Exactly.
Waving it back and forth. Smoke. Waving back and forth as a hello to everyone in the neighborhood.
Would it be different colored?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. But, yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to
That's cool.
I was trying to throw out a really long bomb of a thing there, hoping that you would catch it to Back to the Future.
Oh.
Different colored smoke.
Yeah, but how that is?
I know.
That's and it's like there were no trains. We're not trying to get to 88.
But that's why it didn't.
Hour.
That's why it didn't make a lot of sense.
Because I'm like,
I'm not good at segues, man. We've discussed this.
I like it though. I mean,
I tried.
It works for me. It works for me. I like it.
So anyway, Back to the Future. There's talk.
Yes.
There's talk of ruining the perfect trilogy. There's only a few perfect trilogies out there. It'd be a real shame to ruin this one. There's a reference to another movie. Haha. But they go and they remake movies, and 9 out of 10 of them suck. Every once in a while, you'll get a good one, right? But most of them suck. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you continue Back to the Future unless it was somehow you're trying to tie Step Brothers and Back to the Future together? Otherwise, I don't see the point. What is Ginger saying here? Go on, Francis.
No. Well, I want to try to look. I don't know if it's going to be a reboot because so far what I've seen about the Back to the Future is it's either a reboot or a part 4 potentially even where Christopher Lloyd would reprise his role as Doc Emmett Brown, which in all honesty you could do a 4 because he does have a time machine. He has the train.
He does have the train.
So and he did have kids. He has Jules and Vern, so they can become the heroes of the next movie. So you can you don't need Michael J. Fox. I mean, it's better.
Which is good because he said he's not interested. I think one of his quotes, if I'm going to butcher it, is something to the effect of, I don't care what you do with the franchise. I already made my money.
Yeah. Which, that's fine. And plus, again, he has the debilitating, he has the debilitating condition that doesn't allow him to really act anymore anyway. But he has kids,
Right.
Lloyd has kids.
Okay, so
you could technically
who you going to put there? What young two, because it's been 20 years since the last movie, easily. And they were 8 or 10, you would say, in the third movie. So what, late 20s, early 30s looking person would you put there? Go.
So I saw this floating around, and I had recently watched a movie over the weekend that I'm like, yeah, I guess. But, of course, everyone's controversial favorite or least favorite Spider-Man, Tom Holland, has been banted around on Twitter as a replacement for Michael J. Fox. Because he is the right age. He's in his late 20s and still passes as a teenager. He still has that youthful look about him. So he can still pass as a young adult in their early 20s or something. Michael J. Fox was a teenager for Marty. So whatever. But Tom and I can kind of see it. I saw
okay, but who would be opposite of him then?
Homecoming. What? Oh, as like the Christopher Lloyd character?
No,
Um,
Christopher Lloyd's there for it. I'm talking about if you're going to go with with Doc Brown's kids.
oh, for the okay. So Tom Holland would be like Marty's kid or something. Uh, and Doc Brown's kids will probably. Oh God, I don't know. They've got to be like. I don't know, because there's who's young. Like, I hate all of the new young actors, like Timothy Chalamet and like, um, all of these like really goofy looking actors that they're using now as Finn Wolfhard, like all of these really goofy looking actors that women seem to think are adorable or handsome, and I'm like, they look weird. Like they don't look that great. Or, Adam Driver, people like that. I'm like, they're not classic. They look like weird looking people. They look weird
Right.
to me. Like they don't look like regular people. They look like actors. So I don't know. Like that's a hard question because all the new young male actors all look weird to me.
Listeners made the thing about the voice actor for Rick and Morty is it's the same guy. So it would be really hard to cast one guy to play two roles, to play Doc and Marty because it's the same guy.
Now that he's apparently vindicated, so yeah, he could come in as one
That's
of them.
right. He got in some trouble, did he not? What's his name? Rolston?
He got into some trouble for I don't remember his name. It was for sexual harassment or something, and then it ended up not being true. And he's now he's okay again. But he does the thing is the thing that came out of it though that I'm like, well, you can't. It's terrible, but like he's a terrible drunk. Like he's an actual drunk.
Justin
always
Rowland.
Justin Rowland, yeah. Domestic violence, but I think that got dropped, right? The domestic violence stuff just got dropped. Like he was found not either found not guilty or all of the charges were just dropped because he's nothing happened to him as far as I know. Like nothing happened to the guy. So you can correct me on that one, Swiss and Bullets, but I'm pretty sure nothing happened to that guy afterwards. So he can technically be, if he wants, he could be like a Doc Brown's, because he's pretty young. He's like in his 40s. And no, oh God, no, listeners, mate, not Michael. I hate Michael Cera too. Even though he's in my favorite movie of all time, second favorite movie of all time, I still hate his guy. I think he's an awful actor. He's terrible. I like everyone else in that movie, but he's the worst. Michael Cera is just awful. I don't like him at all.
Speaking of,
what do you think? Gosh,
well, before that though, a friend of mine had posted something the other day. It was a business card shaped, piece of paper or whatever.
Oh,
and it had a statement on it, something about be the love that you want to receive, sort of thing. Put out the love you want to receive, something to that effect.
Sure.
And I'm looking at the business card, and it has this logo on it, and I went, "Oh, it's a great statement." It said something about being a nice person. So, the person, it was a DJ, and this DJ got caught, at least accused of grooming underage concert goers, underage girls going to his concert. And same sort of thing. Nothing really has come about it. He just disappeared from the scene. But a friend posted this thing, and it's got his logo on there, and I just replied back like, the great statement, except for it came from somebody who turned out to be not a great person, not a nice person. And people are, what's going on? What is this? And I'm filling in, people are asking questions, and I'm replying to people like, yeah, this is a guy named so-and-so, and he got busted doing this. But I got an email recently, like a month ago or so, from, it's Base Nectar. It's making it impossible to talk about this story without saying the name. It's Base Nectar. Yeah. Base Nectar became.
I don't know why you're protecting kayfabe from that guy.
I don't know. It went from being Base Nectar the guy to when he disappeared, when all these allegations came out. Base Nectar became an organization, a movement, if you will. And he was supposedly gone this whole time. Well, this email talks about how we as Base Nectar, the organization, we have these videos of concerts, full-length video concerts from prior to 2020 when all this came out. And you're part of the membership club that you have to pay for. Then we can release them and you can watch them and this and that. And we're putting out new music. So I was like, all right, let me just hit play on the sample. Let me just see what this is. If the guy Base Nectar isn't continuing to make music just as like a behind the scenes thing, then he's got somebody that he taught how to do everything he does and copy paste, because the music is exactly what he put out, years back. So it's got to be the same guy, and he's trying to make his way back. But like some of the other EDM DJs that have been caught doing the same thing, I don't think it's gonna work. There's another guy. What's his name?
You'd be surprised.
Datsick was his name, or is his name? That's what he goes by. Okay. And he tried coming out with a redemption show, I think like a year ago or 6 months ago, and it got canceled because people were like, "No, we don't want anything to do with you anymore."
Right.
So I don't know why I was talking about that, but it was just interesting that it's because that something tied it together. But
Justin Roiland guy, yeah, because Justin Roiland, yeah. That's the thing. It really depends on who you are, because some people make it out. Again, like some people who kind of find themselves in it can sometimes make their way out again, and then other people just get buried and you're right, they just disappear. And luckily, many of them, if they're famous enough, I mean, not luckily, but I mean, like, they, lucky for them, I guess, usually they're famous and wealthy enough to where they don't necessarily need to work anymore. They can just kind of live their life in the darkness, which is probably preferred. Like people probably prefer, like, we don't need you out in the public. You guys are cool. Hide in the background. That's cool. Stop being you, and then move on with life. But yeah, some people, get past it, and or like, again, it just gets memory hold, and we forget that it even happened to begin with, right? And we're like, all right, moving on with life, cool, So,
yeah, it's interesting.
That doesn't mean, but that doesn't mean that Back to the Future can't come back if it wants to. In the end, Back to the Future, I don't know where you go. Like, unless you go to the extreme time differences, like I'm going to the medieval, like the 1100s, or I'm gonna go into 55.
They already made that movie. It was called The Black Knight.
Well, okay, sure.
Come on.
But like, if you want kind of the silliness, the thing is, the other thing about Back to the Future is the through line of a family. It's the through line of the McFlys. Right? The first one's about the parents, the second one's about the kids, and then the third one's about like the great grandparents.
His whole lineage.
And it's all in the same family. Yeah, it's all in the same family. So unless you can do that again with Back to the Future, it'd have to be, guess, Doc Brown's family, which you can do. You can totally do a Doc Brown family thing. I actually think that'd be fun to see, like, Doc Brown's family through the ages. But leave Christopher. Just let him just be like a narrator. Don't make him act.
Bring him in as the grandpa talking to Fred Savage. Like in that kind of a role.
The last one,
like he comes in to tell a story about an adventure that he and Marty went on one time that for some reason they didn't make a movie about 20 years ago.
Dude, the last movie I saw was a movie called Nobody, which isn't a John Wick action fest. And, Christopher Lloyd's like a badass, like, former soldier or something. And he's old. Dude's old. Let him rest. Let him just rest. Doesn't need to
Well,
do
I mean,
anything else.
they let Harrison
had a
Ford
break.
rest long enough. I guess he felt like he had to make another movie.
Yeah, but that's his own fault though. Harrison Ford likes. I mean, Calista Flockhart has a lot of expensive tastes, right?
I was
So
gonna
he's
make
got to
that
go
joke.
because she's not working.
I was gonna make that fucking joke, Francis. But you know what? I didn't know if he was still married to Calista Flockhart or not, so I didn't want to make a fucking joke. And you go like, dude, that would have made sense 25 years ago.
No, they're still married, and
Well, that's
yeah,
why.
but
Yeah. Well, no wonder why he's still making
yeah,
movies. He's got a fucking wife that's 30 years younger than him.
yeah. Who's doing nothing? Who hasn't acted since Ally McBeal? So like,
I'm sure those
she's just
royalties
sitting there doing nothing.
are still pouring in because look at how much that's syndicated. As he shakes his head no on a radio station or radio show.
And then, yeah.
Doesn't shaking my head no doesn't work on audio. I just realized as I was doing it.
So good on you, Harry Ford. Good on you.
Well, we'll see how much is done by a stunt actor and how much is, if we get a bunch of close up shots of him and it's just a whole bunch of action shots, it's all super wide shots, then there's a bunch of superimposing going on.
I mean, some of the scenes, I mean, they look like he did. Like there's like a scene where he's jumping from one wreck shot into to another. That looked kind of real. That looked like him, like because you see his face, and I think it's a single shot. I don't think it cuts when he jumps from one wreck shot to the other. I could be wrong. So I think he's doing some action. I mean, he broke his foot in The Force Awakens, which was like 10 years ago, but whatever.
Doing what? What did he do in that movie that broke his foot?
Actually, it was just him entering the Millennium Falcon.
I was going to say, he was just walking.
The door hinge fell on his foot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
okay, that's fucking hilarious and sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
because in my head canon, like Star Wars is real. So like, that sucks. The Millennium Falcon is like all, in disarray.
Well, I mean, it's always been in disarray.
That is true. My internet is falling apart as we go here, so we need to speed this up.
I was going to say I'm pretty sure we lost the connection because there we are. We're back. Hi, everyone. I saw that on Twitch. Welcome back. If you're listening to this, restart your Twitch.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to hear anything probably. But we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep going. There was a segue there, and we passed it up because we were talking too much. But I did see, Francis, that somebody is having a hard time, and I didn't think that this company would ever be in financial trouble. I thought Shane Smith had it all worked out with his cool idea for a media group, but Vice Media filed Chapter 11 yesterday.
Not surprised.
You're not surprised. Why?
Because we're now relying on YouTubers and like random people to give us our news now. Like we don't rely on publications. We don't trust publications anymore. The number of people who are like hate on things like, look, I mean, not to get too deep into the woods or to the weeds, but like everyone hates obviously Fox News, but now everyone hates CNN and everyone hates MSNBC and everyone hates all of like the major news things. And then BuzzFeed News went away, and then like this other news thing went away, and it's like, yeah, of course Vice is gonna go away because nobody cares. Right? They can't do advertising anymore because nobody's going to advertise on these platforms. There's no way to make money, right? Like of course it's going to go away. Like no matter what kind of journalism they do, whether you agree with it or not, they're never going to find a way to make money. Like, no one's going to pay for news because some rando is going to give you the news. Some rando out of left field is going to be like on Twitter, hey, did you know that? And even without a source, they'll just be like, really? That happened?
Right.
So.
I don't know. You can find them on the internet somewhere, but if you look up the Vice guide, and a whole bunch of different options will pop up for you. I found them all incredibly fascinating. They had a HBO series, or they do or did. I thought some of the stuff on there was pretty cool. I'm not, I when I look at that sort of stuff, I'm not looking at left, right, whatever. I'm looking at what are you presenting to me? Just, and I always just thought it was pretty good information. And coming from a company that started a fucking magazine about shoes to become at least a media giant for a little bit. I don't know. I thought that was something that was kind of cool.
They used to be worth $5 billion.
Oh my God!
Wow, where did that money go? That was only 6 years ago. That wasn't that long ago. Wow.
Swiss and Bullets saying he got a kick out of the OG Vice, where they would go to different places and eat a bunch of psychedelics. I remember those. Like I said, if you look up the Vice Guide to, there's a whole bunch of stuff. The Vice Guide to psychedelics, the Vice Guide to, what was one of them? The Vice Guide to Liberia. That one was a fun hour-and-a-half watch to learn about General Butt Naked and his army of naked soldiers. Crazy.
What better way to freak out an entire an army with just naked warriors ready to fight?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would run away from that.
How very Spartan of them, very very Greek Spartans. Love it.
Listeners, Vice was affiliated with HBO, at least for a little bit. I know they had a show on HBO, and then on the app, whatever the fuck it's called right now, they have a series on there, or they did, at least the last time I looked.
Look, and the worst part is, and I mean, not to get too deep into this, the worst part is the people who get hurt from this Vice thing are the people who are doing all the work. All of the higher ups already have their little golden parachutes ready to jump out of that place, like no problem. It's all of the people who actually, like, blood, sweat, and tears go out there, get you what you want to look for. Again, however you feel about it, they're working and they're doing stuff that random people don't do, and they get you the story. And now they're like, well, I guess they got nothing. And let me name you just so BuzzFeed News, NPR, CNN, and ABC News, and the Insider all laid off a bunch of people. So news in general is just going into the gutter. I mean, look, we can't even get Manscaped to sponsor Points of Interest, right? Like, we can't even get them.
Yeah,
to, like,
I'm pretty sure
throw us a bone.
I'm pretty sure you have balls. I know I have balls.
I do,
and I know that my balls need manicuring every once in a while, and taking a pair of scissors, or even the shaver you use to shave your head, is not the way to go. We need the Lawnmower 4.0.
Manscaped. Yeah.
Brought to you by Manscaped. See, we could do the whole fucking thing, dude.
Yeah, we have that. We have it. Well, did you see? And I didn't give this information to you. But there was an article that came out just the other day that said, you thought AI was going to go after this, and this, but they're really going after voice actors.
Oh, I knew that was
apparently
inevitably that was going to happen. Inevitably.
So AI have replaced voice actors. Well, specifically audiobook readers. So people who do the audiobooks are out of the job because AI can do the job and get it done. So, things that Josh and I could have done.
Things that Francis could have done.
You could have done it.
I don't read well. You see me trying to read the things that are on
Voiceover
here.
in general, you could have done. No,
I
but
don't read well.
no, but voiceover in general, you could do, right? Like voiceover in general.
I mean, yeah, but like, but see, behind the scenes, let's pull the curtain back. I'll do a voiceover, and it sounds great. It sounds like it's a one complete paragraph, and I'm just reading it sentence by sentence. What I'm actually doing is recording it sentence by sentence because I don't do well.
Same. No, I'm with you. I did the same thing. But anyway, you're gonna say does what? Can it do what? Can AI do what?
It doesn't surprise me that AI would take over doing the books, but can AI do the different voices? Can the AI do the inflections that some of these book readers do, where they have filters where they make themselves sound like a robot, or they make themselves, even though it's clearly a guy, they do their feminine voice to portray, a female character. Or they have a female reader come in. Like I don't know enough about audiobooks or AI reading audiobooks for me to comment on it, except for it sucks for the people that do the audiobooks, if that's how they make their major income. But we've all seen Terminator. We all know what's coming. So, I mean, it may not be fucking armies of fucking robots, but it's going to be a lot of fucking AI.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this. I said that when we...
Well, wrong button.
It's Star Wars, it's all good.
Well, I meant to hit the points button, but, you got the whip instead.
Thank you. Which is, apropos. Hey, we talked about Harrison Ford. But, look, just like I was talking about the writer's strike last week, I'm like, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm scared. Because I'm a creative, right? Like, I write stories, and I have book ideas right now. I actually spent a little bit of today jotting down ideas for a book that I want to write. So, I have these ideas that I kind of want to put on paper. But then, it's like, AI can, I don't know, it's freaking me out a little bit. AI is too advanced and taking over, I thought it would be, taking over, blue-collar jobs. I didn't realize it was going to take over, artists and writers and musicians and all that stuff. Jeez.
See? And this is how AI becomes, self-aware.
Yeah.
By having it write things with feelings.
Yeah.
A romance novel. Have an AI read a romance novel? That's horrible. That's a bad idea.
That would be horrible. I don't like it.
Bad idea. You're gonna have AI toasters that just, no matter how light you put the toast on, it's gonna burn it every time because it's gonna fucking spite you because you didn't give it the right kind of bread. You didn't put the right kind of bread inside of it.
Look, I think that AI will toast your bread, with the toaster, will toast images on your toast. That's the use of AI on a toaster.
Oh, I want Dino toast or something like that.
Yeah. Or there was the Death Star toaster, right, where you put the toast in it, puts the Death Star on the side of the toast.
Mm-hmm. I would be okay. I would be okay with that. Or maybe your fucking kid draws a doodle and you can fucking scan it and put it in the toaster, and the toaster would toast the doodle.
Dude, that's cool.
Did I just come up with a fucking idea?
That's a great idea. That's a really great idea.
That's my idea. That's my idea, world.
That's your idea.
Fuck you, world.
That's my idea. Copywritten.
Yeah.
Copywritten Josh Hawks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I hope. Give it to you.
Great.
I hope you gave that to you.
Not only is there the fucking internet dying, there's also a delay between the two of us. That's fucking great.
Well, it is what it is with the internet. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, complain about it a lot until nothing happens.
You have the money now. You could do it. You could buy your own internet.
Maybe.
Even though we're not delayed anymore, but you could buy your own internet.
Oh, we are. Don't worry, but we are definitely having a delay. Yeah.
Okay.
With all of that being said, then let's get to the last thing, though. It's another movie thing that I saw. This time, I'm not as opposed to it as I was the Back to the Future thing. Because Back to the Future is a perfect trilogy. Don't mess with it. But Beetlejuice is a single movie and a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes.
Apparently, it has been greenlit for a sequel, and everybody but Otho appears to be coming back. Is Otho still alive?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I think he's dead. Right?
I don't know. While you look.
So who's cast?
So who is cast? Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega as Winona Ryder's daughter. Big fucking surprise there.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton coming back as Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Listener's Mate is excited for it, apparently. I'm on board with it because I think Michael Keaton is about to have a second or third wave of acting.
He is third. He already came back. He's his third. Yeah, totally.
He's about to get a resurgence in jobs because the Flash movie comes out 1 month from today as we record. Comes out on June 16th.
Right.
I saw a trailer for it again yesterday. I was actually watching regular TV and saw it. I mean, I give a shit less about the Flash or Ezra Miller for the most part, but Michael Keaton's in it, so I'm gonna go give them their $17.50.
The latest advertisement for the Flash really pushes Keaton. Like they're trying to kind of put Ezra in the background, and they're really pushing Keaton as like, you get to see Michael Keaton as Batman. Go check it out. You want to see Michael Keaton as Batman? Yeah. So, yeah.
And Batfleck is also in the movie. So I mean, everybody gets a little bit of what they want.
But Beetlejuice is great. I'm excited. I liked Beetlejuice. I think it's fun. I like the actors that they picked. Willem Dafoe, Justin Theroux. I wonder if they got him because of the naming, the names rhyme. Monica Bellucci. And for some reason, I don't know why his picture's on like the website, but Johnny Depp, I don't think he's in it though. But his picture is like associated with Beetlejuice 2. I don't think that's the case.
Otho didn't make it.
I'm down with it. Otho didn't. Yeah.
Otho died 13 years ago.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see it. Looking forward to how they're going to pull it off 27 years later. I'd love to see what they do differently.
Beetlejuice impregnates Winona Ryder. Jenna Ortega is some sort of mutant. I don't know. And the internet's so bad, you just lost Francis. I think
I'm here.
Oh, you were just silent. You didn't respond.
Oh, because I didn't hear what you said.
That's why the internet is so bad. It's time to get Otho. Yes, Otho died.
Oh, sad.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying that the internet's falling apart.
Well,
I said a whole sentence of stuff and you didn't hear it, so it's time to go.
I know. I missed it all. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm just sitting here like, oh, he's saying stuff, and then like I got half of like you would one word and then be quiet. I'm like, oh, another word. I'm like, oh,
well. Then you know what that means.
It means we're gonna go, and we're gonna get Josh better internet.
Yeah, hopefully. Where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, look, go to just AKA the other guy on Twitter and Instagram, or SincerSarcasm.net on the internets, and the first link is to the book Tales of Monstrosity that Listeners Mate is kind enough to read. He's on my story. Hope you enjoyed it. Monsters of different Tales of Monstrosity. So Dragons Every Different Tale, Tales of Monstrosity. Those are the 2 books that I have. Oh, I have them.
No, wait. He has the books. Wait,
Yeah,
closer.
yeah,
Oh, it's glossy and shit. So the filter's struggling. I could see me in those cover.
Anyway, so there you go.
Yeah. That's that.
So go check it out.
Definitely go check it out. And there's 2 of them. Check out the new one and the old one. You can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram, and look at the blinding pictures of my car. What else? Call us, 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1 because at one time I was into Synergy. You can email us at the POI Podcast at gmail.com and just look up POI Podcast for anything else that you may want to see. We're here every week on a Tuesday. Not next Tuesday. Again, I'm going to go see the Spider-Mans. Maybe Francis will be here all by his lonesome. No, he's not going to be. So we'll be back in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, I guess. And for more adventures, fun, stuttering, and dumb stuff. I don't know. Until then, have a good time. Be safe. Look out for reverse lights that are really blinding. That might be me.
Yeah.
If you look, all I'm saying is if you don't see me coming, you're not paying attention. Have a great week. Bye.